You're listening to Your Purpose and Business podcast, where we connect you to possibilities. I'm your host, Raquel Walters, a two-time best-selling author, millennial speaker, corporate trainer, advocate, and clinical social worker at heart. Your Purpose and Business podcast will connect you with everyday successful people who will share their impactful stories, insights, challenges, failures, and triumphs on how they're navigating the working world, whether by climbing the 9-to-5 corporate ladder or starting, growing, and scaling their business. So grab your pen and notebook because you'll want to implement the nuggets and tools, strategies shared in every episode. Class is in session. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Your Purpose and Business podcast. And this is part 2. I had to bring Mr. Raul Davis back, aka Raul Blaze, because as you listen part 1, if you haven't, you should. But for those who listen part 1, I want you to know that there is so much to Mr. Davis, Raul Blaze, and we're gonna dive even deeper into his life journeys, experiences, and what he is currently doing now into the future. And so let me just run over his bio again. Raul Davis goes by the name of Raul Blaze in the entertainment field. He is a comedic writer, actor, language teacher, and personal trainer. He also has been vlogging for about 4 years, but recently had a surge in attention from celebrities and media in Jamaica and across the world, thus enabling him to expand his multi-passions and horizons. Mr. Raul Blaze, thank you again. It's an honor to have you on for part 2. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It's an honor to have that mouthful of introduction, and I love it. It sounds nice coming from you. I'm like, are you talking about me? I'm like, yes, that's me. So thank you for having me.
You're very welcome, Raul. It's a pleasure on my part as well. And I know that in the last episode with you, and this is part 2,
Mhm,
we dove deep into like your educational journey, how we met,
mhm, mhm,
your travels, and
mhm.
you gave us a little bit of Jackie the Freitas from Upper St. Andrew, if I'm saying that
Yes,
correctly. And and so I wanted to show the audience more
mhm,
of you, and thank you
yes.
for being so vulnerable and being willing to open
Mhm,
up, because I do know that as I can relate to your story, there is many other people across the world that can relate
mhm,
to your life journey, to your story. And I know
mhm.
that your experiences and your tools that has helped you would also bring them into more awareness of their own issues, but also
Yes.
how to solve them. And also you bring a joy to all of us through your craft. So Raul, I want to dive a little bit into your childhood, your upbringing, because I do remember you creating skits and plays on Instagram regarding growing up in a children's home when you were
Mhm,
younger, and some of
mhm.
the experiences and the trauma that has been faced during that period of time. And so if you
Mhm.
could dive into that experience, and what was it like for you?
Yes, so I spent a short time in the children's home when I was 2 years old. My mother was a nurse, and she worked at the I think it was I think it was UE, right? And this is the first time I'm ever talking about this, because when I spoke about the children's home thing in 2019 when I went to Jamaica, that was the first time many people had heard about it. But my mom, I was staying with my mom on campus at UE, and the nurses' quarters, and somehow you're not supposed to have children there, and somehow I ran outside, and I guess she got in trouble or something, and I had to, my mother had to place me somewhere to stay for a while, and then she brought me to the Stony Hill SOS Children's Village in Stony Hill, and I was 2 years old, and I think not many people, less than, I don't know how many people can remember when they were 2 years old. Like, people don't remember that because you're a baby. But I remember mine, and not for a good reason. They say that children tend to remember traumatic incidents in their lives, from a very young age. And I believe that that has had a tremendous effect on me. I remember, I remember being there and I remember leaving. I remember being there when my I can remember a specific incident when I had two older kids. I don't know how old they were, but they were somehow they were washing they were giving me a shower or washing my hair or something. And first of all, I don't know why other kids were washing other kids, taking care of kids. But I remember the soap running in my eye, and I'm like crying. I said, telling them that, and I remember the names. One is the guy's name is Richard, and the girl's name is Sonia. And I've
Wow.
never tried to figure out who they are because I would like to meet them one day, just have a chat, because they were kids too. And the soap went into my eye, and I was crying like soap is in my eye, and no one was doing anything about it. And the other landmarks that I can remember was when my mom or my uncle or my aunt used to come. They used to come on a Sunday evening and bring like ice cream for me, and they used to try and hide when they're leaving
Mm-hmm.
because I would know and I would cry the entire time. And I remember sitting on a particular stone at the edge of it as 2 years old, looking down to see if my uncle or my aunt or my mother would come. I think it was very difficult for any parents to see his or her child in that situation. So my mom, it broke her heart to come there and see me like that. And my mom is a wonderful person. She has three boys, and she's always done the best for us. So I'm glad that she came. She came for me. But how I end up leaving was that I was out in the sun one day, and I'm like, now I see my nephew is 2 years old, and I remember you can't leave a 2 year old unsupervised. I was out sitting in the sun and looking down the street. I remember my mother came, and my mother came. She saw me, and she put her hand because she's a nurse, right? She held me, and I had like
Yes.
seriously high fever. And she took me that day.
Oh,
I don't know
wow.
if she even grabbed my clothes. She brought me back to UA, and I had pneumonia. And they had a
Oh,
big
wow.
pneumonia outbreak in Jamaica in that year, 1985, and and then some kids on the ward actually died from pneumonia. So at 2 years old, I think I almost died at 2 years old from pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the first time I'm actually saying this, but I remember my mom came and seeing me just fever, high pitched fever, and said, "This is the last. I'm not going to be up here again." So I guess the fact that these experiences were so young, they've had
Mm-hmm.
that effect on my life from ever since. So,
Yes.
sometimes you can't really do the link because you don't know the science behind it, but it's your experience, so you can feel that it has had an impact.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And first and foremost, Raul, I want to say thank you for sharing that. I mean, I know not many persons remember at the age of 2, but what I
Mm-hmm.
do know, because being a social worker,
Mm-hmm.
practicing psychology, working with my clients, my patients,
Mm-hmm.
I do know when it comes on to something that significantly affected your life, it's kind of like a stamp on the brain, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
where it's something that shows up and you recall it just like it was yesterday. Sometimes
Yes.
in everyday life, probably even as an adult, maybe you
Mm-hmm.
have interactions where somehow it triggered that memory, or
Mm-hmm.
you have had flashbacks. So
Mm-hmm.
it is not the word I want to say, it doesn't surprise me that you
Mm-hmm.
recall what your experience at that children's home. And thankfully you were able to survive it, and your mom pretty much came back to you. And
Yes.
of course,
Yes.
mothers and their instincts, and I know
Yes.
she's a nurse,
Yes.
pretty much took you to safety, and you were
Yes.
able to survive that medical
Yes.
condition. So thank
Yes.
you for sharing that. And
Yes.
the other piece that I wanted to dive into is, I know that now in your adult life,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just to tie into what I just said,
Mm-hmm.
have there been times where you've had flashbacks or memories? You know?
There have, and as we were talking about before we went on here, we're talking about my visit
Yes.
there in 2019. In 2019, I went to Jamaica for to do a show, my Raul Blaze one man tour per se, where I did New York, then I did Miami, then I did Kingston, and I've always wanted to go back. And a matter of fact, when I was taking the bus there, I knew it was Stony Hill. So I just jumped on a Stony Hill bus. I didn't know where it's Stony Hill.
Wow.
When I got to the square, someone said children's home, and I said that's a and then they pointed me to a corner down the road in Stony Hill Square. But it was ringing a bell to me because I was two, and maybe I went up there in a car or something, and then I went back, and then it was a very emotional trip because I
Yeah.
remembered some things very clearly. And when I went there, I just couldn't get questions to some of the answer some of the questions. I couldn't remember what exact block I was on, and I couldn't get information about my stay there. But I'm gonna go back there and try. And so yes, it I do have flashbacks outside of going back there. Sometimes like my nephew now is 2 years old. And at 2 years old, I see how he interacts with me, his mom, his sister, and his father and his grandmother. I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, wow, I was 2 years old when we're the same age. So for that, I connect with him, I bond with him that way because I try to make sure, he's a happy little boy. He's a very happy little boy. He has all the love he needs, and somehow that helps me, even though that may not have been my case at that age. Somehow it helps me to just shower him with all the love I have in this world for him. Tell him that his uncle
Yes.
really loves it. And yeah, yeah. So I do have flashbacks. Whenever I hear children's home, or whenever I hear the word Stony Hill, or if I hear the word SOS, or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when I'm in the shower and I wash my hair and the soap comes on my face, or sometimes whenever I'm out in the sun, sitting and the sun gets too hot. Sometimes when I go on university, every time I go, when I was attending UE, every
Yes.
time I walk over there, so it's there. That little boy still is within me,
Mm-hmm.
and the environmental and social interactions and just nature itself reminds me of him sometimes. So
Right.
it,
Right.
it, it I am reminded, but but it's not all bad because things like those help you to grow,
Yes.
and it helps you to feel as if it's incumbent on you to make those around you happy and feel good because you'd never want them to experience a certain kind of sadness that you've been through. Yes, so
Yes.
it helps me. Yes.
Yeah, yes, definitely. And we all have that inner child, right? That's a part of us, that little boy or girl that's always reminding us of things as we journey through life and get older, right? And so it is important that we learn how to be aware of our traumas, so to speak, negative things that happen to us, as well as the positive,
Hmm.
but more so
Hmm.
the negative, because oftentimes we want to be able to work through them so that it doesn't manifest, or we're not reliving or experiencing life as we did when we were younger, if that makes sense.
True.
Right.
True.
So
True.
that's where the whole thing goes, where if your mom was beat upon, then you definitely
Hmm.
don't want to carry that out in your adult life, where you're beating upon
Yes.
your spouse or your partner,
Yes.
thinking
Yes.
that that is love when it's not. So we
Yes.
definitely want to work through what has affected us or experiences, and the tools as adults know that we can use that are positive to kind of reframe those thoughts or memories, and being able to live life in positive ways. So
Yes.
my next question for you, Raul, is
Hmm.
what has helped you really to rise up above all of those experiences, not only your childhood experiences, but I
Hmm.
know in the first interview episode we spoke about
Hmm.
your travels to foreign land. I mean, your
Hmm.
journey of education and your
Hmm.
craft now. Speak
Hmm.
on what have you used to help rise up beyond all of what you face, both negative and
Hmm.
positive, but also
Hmm.
how it is that you're living your life today in bliss, so to speak, in positivity.
Yes. I to be honest, I don't even know. Sometimes I downplay myself, and I take things for granted, and I don't realize that someone like me to have been through the things I've been through in my life to be the way I am now, that within itself is success. My mother tells me that there's no reason for you to be um the positive role model you are now. There's no exact exact reason for you to be this person who spreads light and pull people closer to you, because that's not how it works. People who go through the things that I go through either die
Mm-hmm.
or either become a completely different person. I have
Right.
all the rights to be angry at the world and everyone. I have all the rights to 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 to, to become maybe like on the fringes of society, and that's why I understand people who have been through those things to become who they are, because
Mm-hmm.
you can't separate you can't separate people's and their acts from their past, because if trauma isn't treated, um, it's just a natural course for people to become a pariah in society. But I don't know how. I guess I guess there's an unconscious memory within me,
Yes.
or an unconscious um fuel, an unconscious inch that pushes me, and each time I get to somewhere, it takes for me a while to say, wait, are you really here? You know? But it's an unconscious energy. It
Mm-hmm.
exists. Some people are very sure of it. It exists, but there's this unconscious energy, and sometimes I look back every very rare occasions. I say, Raul, give yourself some credit, man. Don't be so hard on yourself. Look at the things you've been through. So it is in these times where I can connect my past with my present.
Yes.
But most times I'm not even aware. I'm not even aware of it. I'm not even aware of it, because I've been so hard on myself for such a long time. But
Right.
those forces are still there. They're very present.
Yes, yes. And it will forever be there. It's a matter of managing it, I believe. And
Yes.
the studies show that it probably never goes away, right? But
Yes.
it's how you
Yes.
deal with it, is how you react, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
I believe that you, along many others, are survivors, because like you said,
Mm-hmm.
you could have been a different person. You could have been mad at the world.
Mm-hmm.
You could have gone and done something totally different, but you
Mm-hmm.
chose to use your life experiences, both negative and
Mm-hmm.
positive, to fuel your creativity right now. And
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, Raul, and this is not because we're on the podcast, but I definitely
Mm-hmm.
want to share it here because we have a wider reach, is that you are a genius when it comes on to your creativity, because I haven't seen so far, especially in the millennial generation, and the 21st century right now, where I am seeing, and I know you don't really like the category comedian, because you're so much
Yes.
more
Yeah.
than that.
Yes.
But I'll just use that
Use
category
it.
for
Yes.
lack of,
Yes.
but I
Yes.
want to say that the way how you educate and you entertain, it's not like foolishness. I hate to use
Mm-hmm.
that word, but I'm gonna use it
I
and be
know. I
straightforward and
know.
direct, because that's how I
I
am at
know.
times, right?
I know.
It's not
Yes.
foolishness. I mean,
Yes.
you're getting humor. You're getting your belly full. As we
Yes.
say in Jamaica, but at the same time, you're also being educated about
Yes.
Jamaican history, about world history, about multicultures, right?
Yes.
About I know in some of your Instagram posts and reels
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
skits, you educate on depression and anxiety and just
Mm-hmm.
dance and music and how
Mm-hmm.
to live good, and you just exude positivity overall.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yes.
haven't seen that from another comedian in that
Yes.
category.
Yes.
Oftentimes it's comedy to either put down somebody else or
Yes.
make fun of,
Yes.
or
Yes. Yes.
speaking on negative things, but not in a helpful way. There's no
Yes.
lesson. It's just because of the joke, or this is how we behave, so this is
Yes.
what I'm going to
Yes.
write my comedy and act out on.
Yes.
So I just want
Yes.
to say you're a genius when it comes on to that, and I hope
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
you're
Thank
very
you.
welcome. And that you
Thank
should
you.
continue to do what you do and however it is that you express it, because it definitely is helping a lot of people. I can tell you that it's helped me on many days when I've been
Thank you.
sad and going through my things, and just clicking on your page, I know that I can always have a good
Hmm.
laugh, but also be educated as well.
Yes.
So thanks for
Thank you
that,
so
Raul.
much.
You're very
Thank you so
welcome.
much. Hmm.
So Raul, tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about what's coming up for you, what space you are in right now.
Wow.
you know.
Oh my God. There's so many things coming up now. Actually, of the things that have happened to me, because what has given me this recent energy and vibe. I had like three between December and January. I had like three videos that went crazy viral, and they were, sometimes you go viral and you go 1 month, three of them were just behind each other.
Each other.
So if even one time when even I don't know, whenever people from Glenmuir or my family say,
Yes.
someone just sent me this, I even got tired. You know when you go viral when you're tired of seeing your own videos, right?
Yeah.
I never thought one time if I see one more person send me a dead video again, I'm gonna just turn off my phone. I've missed it one more. Someone said, a lie. I'm gonna just stop talking to them. And if one more person send me the multilingual video, that was me because I
Mhm.
was just there in that space. And every time I wake up, hey, I saw this, and but I have to give thanks because of so the people who helped made the two Jamaican videos go viral were regular Jamaican people
Mhm.
who saw it and saw the need to duet it on TikTok.
Yes.
And as a result, there's this girl called Kimmy. Her name is Kimmy Cloud. Because of her duet of my video, I shared it, and she got some buzz, and then now after a few duets with me, I told myself we have to collab because she's going places, and then I
Mhm.
also I also directed. So flash forward, Wayne Marshall duetted my video long after these people. So there are people doing
Yes.
it, but because he was a celebrity, he gave me a space in the Jamaican urban space.
Right.
Then after he and I became cool on that level, I just commented his name under one of Kim's videos, and now Kim is like they're collaborating very often. And yesterday I saw that Kim said she's gonna start her YouTube page. So what I like about what I do, and I'm not being self-righteous or anything. I'm glad that
Mhm.
while I'm growing, I'm helping other people grow because
Yes.
she's gonna start this, and every day she says, "Raul, thank you for this opportunity." But so on that, so what's coming up on that sense where when Marshall gave me this exposure along with my videos going viral, a lot of people have reached out to me on the media, but on the international sphere, I have an interview coming up with Travel Noir. It's
Yes.
a black it's a black positivity magazine, very famous magazine
Yes.
it promotes black travel and the melanin and the richness of our West Africanness. And I had an interview with them before, and now we have an upcoming interview where I'm going to possibly be able to teach a class on the platform, or maybe even do one of my soca aerobics videos. Them,
Yes.
listen, my videos. Them, Pato just come out. However, I love Pato so much, guys.
Yes.
Even me try to talk English to come out, so that's what I'm most excited about because I'm glad that everyone everyone loves what I do, but I feel especially proud that my own people,
Mhm.
but as long as whether you're West African, and we all share that same space in that boat, the boats that came over this way. The fact that I could do a video that showed the world, because basically that video, the world saw that video that wait,
Yes.
it's possible to be black and multilingual. Of course it
Of
is.
course.
Of course it is. There are many of us. It's fact that I was the one who made, but there are many of us, and I look forward to continuing getting messages from mothers and fathers say, hey, my son saw your video on the Shade Room or wherever, and he decided that he wants to learn Japanese. Or so
Yes.
those are the things I look forward to. And I I want to do a last year I should have done a 2 day free French and Spanish workshop for CSEC kids, but because of Corona, I did on my Instagram live, and it's better. Practicing language is better in person, so I want to do it this year,
Mm-hmm.
social distance and all. So if that's possible, that's something I'm really looking forward to, just to reach out to younger versions of me, male and female, and show that love for the foreign languages and culture, that it is possible to dream as a little Jamaican boy or a little Jamaican girl. It is possible to see these lands that we've never seen before. And it is possible to use these imaginations to get to these places that you've never seen. So that's what's coming up. What's coming up for me is the possibility of continuing to inspire people who look like me, and
Yes.
who are from where I'm from. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And you're so humble, Raul, because and guys, I'm gonna bring this up because he was a part of a panel honoring the great Oliver Samuels out of Jamaica. And if it's not the heights of your career, even though I know your career don't done yet, there's many, many more to things that
Oh,
you gotta
Lord.
do. But for Mr.
Yes.
Oliver Samuels, how was that experience? You know?
It was, even now, me talk about that, my head like, I must say, these are the people who I have been compared with before, and I'm glad that people see Oliver and Miss Lou in my work, because
Yes.
this my page, as you said, it I feel the responsibility of bringing back the golden age of Jamaican comedy, the the real root of Jamaican comedy, with culture, history, and patois being at the center of it. So
Yes.
when the Kiwanis, I'm matter of fact, when they told me before, but I wasn't reading because during the time they reached out to me was the time when everyone was reaching out.
Yes.
So the Kiwanis Club, I'm like, the Kiwanis Club is even massive, just the Kiwanis Club to reach out to you, right? And they sent me the message in my WhatsApp, and I was like, I'm gonna read it. And then for some reason, on the same day, only 3 hours before, I saw the poster, because that's how many people on my page did not get to come on the Zoom, and I feel so bad because I read it late. And it was me, Dufton Shepherd, Johnny Christopher, Johnny Daly. I think it's and I forgot what her name is, but or she has a Chinese last name. One of those prominent Jamaican actresses. And when I sent my picture and they sent me the post and I saw my name beside it, oh my God, what am I doing here?
Mhm.
And it was a wonderful. The thing is, I told them I would have been at the gym, so I would talk while I'm walking home. But anyway, when I left the gym, my internet wasn't working, so I had to stay outside. And when I took a Uber and I got home just in time, I came right here.
Yes.
They kept asking, Raul, you ready? Raul, you ready? And I told an original analysis story.
Mhm.
And just when I was telling the story, I could see the Zoom comments, and even Miss Harvey was there. Miss
Wow.
Harvey, yeah, she's like, your teacher there enough, and I'm like,
Oh my gosh, what an
and
honor.
it's
Wow.
weird,
You got Miss
it's
Harvey.
right, and it's weird when even though you're adult, one of your high school teachers is in the audience, you still get, oh my God, I forbid myself, because so Miss Harvey was listening to it, and some other some very prominent people were, and I saw that you can see the applause going up. I'm like,
Yes.
wow, there are like so many people across the world listening right now. And I said that guy Raul did so well. And at the end, I think the highlight was when Oliver was saying thanks to the people and he called my name. I'm like,
Yes.
wait, he knows my name was on this. Did he just even
Yeah.
though of course my name is on, like, didn't call my name, like, wow. And then
Wow.
it's just even though I'm like crazy, because not many people, very few people get to honor Oliver Samuels. Like,
Very true.
and this is something I've never told anyone this before, but last 2019 there was a competition for Louise Bennett's to honor Louise Bennett's
Mhm.
100 100 was last year, and someone sent it to me, and I entered two poems. One was the name Miss Joyce Magadog, and Miss Joyce talk about the Magadog, and then them custom, like the person cuss Miss Joyce dog, then Miss Joyce responds. So it's two poem in one,
Mhm.
and they call me and told me that my poem was chosen to be in the 100 poems,
Wow.
and they didn't do it last year because of the corona, but maybe this year they're gonna publish it. So
Mhm.
so in my short time, I've honored both
Yes.
Oliver Samuels
Great.
and Louise Bennett, and even people who've been in the game for such a long time, I've never done one, neither both, and here I am, still rising, because
Yes.
I'm still rising, and I've done both at the early stage. Whenever I tell my story and said I've done this in the beginning, people are like, how do you start your career like that? Those are things that keep me positive to know that people see my worth enough, regardless of how I feel about myself, which I feel I'm hard on myself sometimes
Yes.
because of, self-esteem. It's just people saw me worthy of 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 looking at my work. They saw me worthy of honoring two of the greatest
Yes.
cultural icons in our Caribbean.
Caribbean
Yes,
history.
in
Hmm.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because Raul, you're a big deal. All right, I'm not even gonna sing because I can't sing, but because you're a big deal, that's why. And what I've found over the years is that our people we look up to as
mhm,
children, when they
mhm,
see raw talent, they know.
mhm.
So you don't have to put on no fancy this and that and drive no
No.
hot car and all these things. You don't have to be flashy, but when they see raw and real talent, they know.
Yes.
And my friend, you deserve a seat at the table, and I know that you'll be opening more doors and creating more seats for others. You already started to do so. So I want to tell you to keep continuing what you're doing, even on days when there is fears and self-doubts, because we all have that, right? But it's how
Mm.
we respond to it, how we manage it, how we kind of kick that little voice to the side and say, you know what, I'm still gonna put my creativeness out there because I do know
Yes.
that there's many people depending on it. So I gotta show
Yeah.
up. Right. And
Yes.
the minute you
Yes.
keep that on your top of your mind, then you know that you're gonna continue to show up because there are persons out
Mhm.
there depending on you, right?
I know, and that would usually scare people, but that actually encourages me. Because that is what keeps me going. I know I'm dependent on myself, but having that responsibility of having dependence is like it's like I'm a custodian, and I feel very much honored
Yes.
to be in the place where people can go on my page and their days are better by just
Mhm.
watching my videos. So
Yeah.
I'm very glad. I'm very humbled by this. I'm like extreme. I don't think I could be any more humble. I'm getting home every time one of them in my inbox now, somebody jump in my inbox and says that that's my reaction. Really?
Yeah.
Because in me, I am. I'm like when people see you, because a lot of people who are in social media, people who are getting famous, I guess they were born with that level of nothing is wrong with confidence. They're born with that level of confidence, but sometimes they have this thing about them. I've never had that, and it's not that nothing's wrong with it, but
Mhm.
I've never had that. I
Yes.
consider myself the same person
Yeah.
that grew up a Clarendon. So if somebody
Right.
see me on the road and want to call to me and whatever, we stop and talk to them because I don't see myself better or anyway.
Right.
So whenever someone tells me that, yo, you do this, you humble me because
Mhm.
one, that's what I want to do, and two, they can't believe it's actually happening.
Right, right. And maintain, that humility, because it's gonna carry you places. Because that's how you're gonna reach people's hearts. Because if you have developed this ego and chip on the shoulder, nobody wants to be around you. Nobody would want to be in your presence. So I think that humility is what keeps us grounded and connected,
Yeah.
to others. Because at the end of the day, human beings, we all just want connection and love, right? And people want to be see you as reachable,
Yes.
um, and
Yes.
and that you understand them, and they want to tell you they appreciate it,
Mm-hmm.
and you telling them that you appreciate it, because that's gonna
Yeah.
fuel your drive to continue moving forward, and that brings you happiness as well. Because I know
Yes.
that you're not doing this because of the monetary gains will come, and it's coming,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
your purpose, this is why you're on the purpose your purpose and business podcast. This is a part of
Yes.
you.
Yes.
So your talent is a part of you, and we're so glad that we get to have you
Yes.
share it with all
Oh
of
my God.
the world.
I'm glad that I have this opportunity because I remember when I was speaking to you and I said this, all the chats we've had is like
Yes,
preparing me for my future interviews. I'm gonna say I
yes,
remember when I was in my first interview. So this is all I'm not taking this is all preparation for me also. And when you were talking about people, I think as human beings, one of the things we want our emotions to be acknowledged. You
yes.
know, I am feeling love now. Show me back love. I'm feeling sadness. Show me empathy. So I think whenever we acknowledge, because at the end of the day, we are all human beings, and regardless of how, I am guilty of this. Whenever you see people, in a certain light, you think of them of hyper or superhuman beings. But you have to take back and say, wait, they have the same feelings that I do. They have
Yes,
love, they have fear, they have sorrow, they have anxiety. So that is one thing I have proven to myself that celebrities are people, okay? Because a celebrity right here, you know what I'm saying?
exactly, exactly.
So, so
Yes,
I try to I love to acknowledge emotion.
yes.
Sometimes I overdo it because I can't help it by nature. That's who I am. But whenever I do it on purpose,
Mhm.
I feel in the moment when I see someone who reaches out to me, I say, Raul, matter of fact, this guy messaged me three, 2 nights ago.
Yes,
And he messaged and say, yo. And then I say, yo, back. You know, because sometimes people, that's how people communicate. Maybe that he doesn't, because not everyone knows how to communicate with people, right?
yes,
Then he messaged me on WhatsApp and he said, yo. I said, yo. And he sent a message to the effect of, um, I want to send a message to my girlfriend for her birthday. And I saw it, but I didn't reply. But
hmm,
I did not choose not to reply. You know, I'm very busy these days.
yes,
So he wrote below, guess not, you know, kind of feeling kind of cheeky. I'm say, I'm sorry, I did not ignore it on
hmm,
purpose. I was just really busy. So I just asked him what her name was. And apparently his girlfriend always sending my clips to everyone, and you know, she's
yes,
crazy about my video and whatever. And I said, I have to do this. I had to do this. So last night I just right here, I just took out my camera and I sent a 1 minute video to her. And tomorrow's her birthday, so he
oh, so
says,
right on
he,
time. Hmm.
yes, he says, hey, she's gonna cry when she gets this. I'm like, he said she's gonna cry. She's going to cry when she's. I'm waiting on tomorrow to hear what happened.
Yes,
But I live for things like those. You know, if you can make if the thing about the world is if you can make someone's life better, make it better because there are too many reasons to cry and be sad in this world. So make someone's life better, make someone happy, make someone smile.
that is so true, Raul. And
Yeah.
I love that you were able to produce that video for him, and
Mhm.
I, sometimes things just slip us, because the life is moving so fast, and you're in high demand right now. So, I'm happy that you were right on time to do that for her, and she'll be, very happy with that. So, Raul, I always ask my interviewees in closing, is there a mantra or some sort of phrase or something that you do daily that you kind of do for yourself to set yourself up for the day, to set the tone for the day?
Yeah, I am so I am a personal trainer, right? So
Yeah.
I most mornings I head to the gym mainly to train or to teach a Zumba class or maybe for my just train for my own training. But because I walk the mile and a half, I've become I've become addicted to my morning walks. I
Hmm.
mean, I find morning walks so refreshing. I mean, you guys up north can't really go walk, you know, but you know, but I find morning walks so very refreshing because I just like being a country boy, even though I'm in Boynton, Florida, and there's not much rural nature. I walk past this open lot
Hmm.
where I do my videos. Sometimes my videos, I'm in this open lot. That's where it is. I pass it every day, and just that 30-second presence of nature
Hmm.
kind of boosts me. Then from then now, my journey takes me on a little road, which is not so busy. But then I'll go on Congress, which is a busy road. So my morning starts slow, then it get busier. Then just before I get to the gym, it gets busy, and then when I get to the gym, you have to be Raul for people, you know, because people come to my classes to see the energy. But
Yes.
that energy is not infinite, you know, it needs fuel. And my morning mantra is to build up that energy for me. Just take my walk. Just walk
Hmm.
and that's where most of my ideas come from. Most of my skits and you see, boy, I tell you something. You learn enough things, no man. You have
Yes.
the key tonight, man. Most of my skits are created while walking to the gym
Hmm.
because man, there's a space and I'm just so walking. Just try walking in the mornings for a
Yes.
few minutes and see what happens. You know, just let the skin, let the wind just touch your skin and just let your mind loose. And any sort of creative, any sort of creative ambition you have, your mind will just start just take it all in. So
Yeah.
my walk is my mantra. My mantra is very physical.
Yeah, very physical, and it's meditative as well, because
Yes,
for you, you said you get a lot of clarity from there, and
yes,
you know, in different ways in which you can, act out what's in your head in terms of your script.
yes, yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes.
Amazing, amazing. So again, Raul, thank you so much. It's been an honor and a pleasure, and I won't
Oh,
stop telling you this, friend, because I've watched your journey. We've had many interactions offline, and we know you're from a
yes,
long time, so it's nothing. But I mean, my celebrity friend. I mean, I am so proud of you. Words of encouragement for me is just to continue showing
mm-hmm,
up for yourself, and
mm-hmm,
I know that the world would be a better place for it, because you are a light in this dark world, and
thank you.
I believe that in due time you will be getting your roses, even though you're getting your
Yes,
roses and your flowers right now.
yes,
But
yes.
I see you going further. Just trust and believe me,
Thank you.
Rahul.
Thank you
Yes.
so much. Thank you, and thank you so much for having me. And thank you for all the bits of encouragement you've given me over the years. Whether it's in regard to my own writing ambitions, my other business ambitions. Thank you for taking the time out. For scheduling, or for people who are British or learn British English, scheduling the time to just bring me one on one with how to take steps towards pursuing other aspects of my creativity. So thank you so much, and thank you so much for this program. So I can practice my interviewing skills, because it's you. I know it from a long time, and I'm still working on my nerves. But it is everything, as you said before, is a step, is a process, and I'll
Yeah.
get there eventually. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Raul. And
Mhm.
again, guys, remember to be good to yourself always. Bye for
Yes.
now.
Bye. Take care, guys.
Thank you for listening. If you've loved this episode, let's stay in touch. Head over to raquelwalters.com and subscribe to my email list so that I can send you updates on new episodes, exclusive motivational nuggets, and insider knowledge that's only shared when you join our community. Please don't forget to subscribe to this podcast and leave a review, as I want to know your thoughts about every episode. Follow me on Instagram at Your Purpose and Business Podcast. And remember, your life is beautiful, and this is a part of your journey. So embrace it. Speak to you soon.